ebe kacha mkpa ụwa dum jiri mara m wụ na ọmụwa onye bidoro ya na-akpọ African philosophy. Ọmụwa bidoro NYSC. The most important thing when we raise the issue of ndị Igbo, that there's so much mystery about the Igbo people.
This is Ndị Igbo Viva, the digital heritage community for over 70 million Igbos all over the world. I am Akachukwu Oputa Ifeadi, your host. Let us welcome Professor Timothy Nwala, Professor of Philosophy, University of Nigeria, Nsukka. In this episode, Professor Nwala will share with us how the thought patterns of Igbos represent a distinct stream of African philosophy. Please welcome Professor Nwala and listen to him.
Oputa Ifeadi.
I welcome you to Ndị Igbo Viva.
Timothy Nwala, Nwafọ Igbo. Etinyego m aka m n'ọtụtụ ihe. The most important thing when we raise the issue of ndị Igbo, the philosophy, that there's so much mystery about the Igbo people. We've not even gone into it. We're scratching it. I mentioned Katrina Chalano. I mentioned Ume. If you read their works, they touch on areas of Ndị Igbo, their origins, their tradition, which many people do not know. There's the strong claim, even on which Jogwa know that strong claim, that the Igbo nation are among the aboriginal human beings on earth. Okay. And that's also the claim that they were the first to inhabit different parts of the world, including America.
Wow.
The unfortunate thing today is that humanity have lost its original spirituality. One aspect of it is what science had done. A lot of the mysteries that's being uncovered by science today, including AI and so on and so forth, this knowledge was known by our ancestors before. Possibility of moving from one planet to the other. It's what was called astral travel. Possibility of knowing of an event happening in Oxford now from here without your being there. Possibility of knowing, that one is called clairvoyance. That's what they call clairvoyance.
That is knowing something where you are not there.
Okay. The one is also precognition, knowing of an event before it happens. There's also psychokinesis, physical change or something without any physical medium.
Without touching it.
Yeah, of course, you know, you can tune your radio, television without
touching it.
Touching something here,
yes.
And it's working on that.
Yes.
And people had that knowledge. So in those days, a woman's child becomes sick. And she's worried that the child may die. What does she do? Then there is a Dibia, a very famous native doctor. She or the husband will run to the man, please come. Our son is dying. You ask her what is happening after. Go, I'm coming. By the time you come to the house, the Dibia is already in the house, attending to this thing. These are realities of this thing. Modern science is beginning to unravel those things, this AI and all these other things. Yeah. So people had all those aspects of knowledge as well.
Okay, so now before we go deeper into it, if our people had it, they must have native names for it. Those phenomenon.
Yeah.
So can anybody what's it?
Gaja, in those days, you go to those who have that kind of this thing, to know what is wrong with your child. What are his prospects? and so on and so forth. The dibia, that is the greatest scientist, spiritualist. That's what we call them, the dibia, of different types. Mind you also that a lot of the things you and I know today, with regard to medicine, different diseases, our people knew all of them.
Yes.
They also had doctors
Yeah.
who were treating them, treating them very effectively.
Yes.
But we've been driven to the way of the mechanism of Western science.
Yes.
That's what we're doing today.
Okay, but you know, now that ability to know the, project into the future.
Sure.
But
Igbo, yes. When things are got on, But some of them use some materials,
yes,
spiritual things. When through them, the combination and the way they align
So
themselves.
is it Afa? So Igbo Afa was part of the process.
Processes of yoga
Okay.
relating to reality.
Okay. Okay. Then the second one,
Psychokinesis.
psychokinesis.
Yes. Dibia nwere ike isi gị onye dibia afọ zagha afọ azaghị.
And about that power.
Manile ọgwụ was a general word, but at what we think the new present generation should know, we should spend time to understand the Igbo in world history, the Igbo in creation.
Okay.
The Igbos were already in America before the white man settled there. There is a study which shows that the original base of human civilization was around our own equatorial zone. And that original human beings were the black race. And it is a function of the equatorial descendant. And also that the white skin is a later development. Because the more you move away from the equator, Equatorial Guinea, the great sign that called melanin.
Yeah, okay.
That is the thing that underlines skin. If you live in Equatorial Guinea, it makes your skin look black. As you move away from that heat,
you have less melanin in your skin and it gets brighter.
Brighter. So the aspect of what Igbos need today to understand our place in history, apart from our place in world history, is also our place in our immediate environment.
Yes.
I'm sure you have read what the Oni of Ife once said, that the Igbos were the original inhabitants of Ife.
Ife, yes, I've heard that.
Coming back to the Igbo philosophy,
yes,
which formed the foundation of African philosophy
yes.
today. We've been able to look at the various dimensions of philosophy.
Yes.
Western philosophy, that's what you call metaphysics. Which deals with the origin and structure of the universe. There's also ontology, which deals with the nature of the physical elements of that make up the world. There's also the sphere of ethics, morality.
Okay.
There's also the sphere of social, political thought. The Igbos were great managers and creators of governance. The other aspect of that's important in Igbo civilization is the fact that the work in Katrina Chalona who has shown that most languages in the world evolved from Igbo language.
Okay.
For example, if you take Igbo and English, the word man in Igbo is mado. The word choir in Igbo is ukwe. To say something, sir.
Yeah.
To go, this guy.
Yeah.
Me.
Me. Yeah.
Animal, anumano. Prayer, ebere. Look, lekri, ale. Draw, say. Chair, oche. Long, ogologo. Fe, mfe. Marine, miri. Cock, okoko. 6, we see. 9, itenani. Fly, felie. Cup, echo. Eye, anya. So the what Patrick concludes from this is that most languages in the world were derived from Igbo language.
We have only opened the door. Don't leave, because in the next clip, Professor Nwala shall explain how ancient Igbo knowledge applies to real life. How do we approach Igbo philosophy so that we know that this one is Igbo philosophy, this one is not Igbo philosophy?
Let's take, for example, if we are dealing with the structure of the universe.
Okay.
The structure of reality. That's the cosmos in English. How did the Igbos conceive the structure of reality?
Yes.
The Igbos believe that there is a supreme being from whom everything emanates. Yachuku, Chineke. They also believe that the world is created by him. They also believe that the world has a structure and various dimensions. They also believe that there is good and bad in the world. That's ethics. Certain things are good, certain things are bad.
Okay.
Now, when you look at the creation, the world is said to be created by God, by Chukwu. I created man in his own image. The position of Igbo on creation is that the world is created by God, and also that reality also evolves. Having created the original, there's evolution. Things it takes different dimensions. Let's take, for example, Igbo language and reality are both the same. Igbo word for what is right, what is true. That is Yezrezi. Yeah. There is also a tree which has that original word. Uzi tree. I don't know whether you know. Uzi
tree.
Yeah. That tree goes straight up.
Okay, that's the characteristics of the water.
Uzi tree, that's what it is.
Okay.
And from that word you get Yezrezi.
Okay.
Uzo. Zim. So the same way with other aspects of nature from which the Igbo language is derived. The Igbos also have their theory about the origin of the universe. Cosmology.
Yes.
They believe the universe is created by God.
Our philosophy discuss how God made the world. That theory.
Well, there is Igbo theory that the first man which God created was called Ifenta. Ifenta, junior light.
Okay.
And the first woman created was called Obo Omananya. And God himself at the very beginning was symbolized by the sun. That was a symbol of Godhead. And that the world he created has a structure. There's Igwe, that is sky.
The sky, yeah.
That's Owa, that is the earth.
The earth.
And there's also laws describing the interaction between the two worlds, the world of the spirit and the world of human beings.
Okay.
And it is also known that in ancient times, there was human beings who were capable of astral travels, moving from one planet to the other. The world itself. The world is made up of Allah and Miri. Then there's also Alamo and Alamado. That's the world of the spirit.
Okay.
And you have to be initiated spiritually before you can interact with the spirits.
Okay.
And there's an interaction between the spirit world and the human world. For those who had this capacity, it's a free movement from one sphere to the other.
Yeah. But those who have the capacity to make that movement.
Sure. Organamo. Yeah.
Okay.
There are people who have the capacity to go into
to move across the two worlds. We are happy that you are still here. The next segment will move deeper into how Igbo philosophy explains the reality itself before contact with European science and philosophy.
The Alamo is a sphere inhabited by spirits. And man is also a spirit. So human being can mix between the two.
Yeah,
I remember when we were young, during the burial of old people who have been deeply initiated into traditional culture, when they'll be buried, there's a ceremony performed in order to link them directly with the human world.
Okay.
I remember that ceremony when we were young, we watched some. They carried the body of the dead man into a house and lock it up. And outside, they'll be performing rituals, music, and so on and so forth. Then suddenly you find the dead man get out of the coffin and they're shaking the house.
Wow.
There are things they perform in order to get his spirit to come it down before he was buried also. There's communication between the living and you hear the voice of dead people.
Okay, during the process.
During the process, yeah.
You will hear their voice,
The voices,
like actually
yeah.
hear
Exactly,
their voice.
Yeah. You will hear the voice of your grandfather or the voice of your dead father communicating with you. You know.
All these are part of Igbo cosmology, right?
Cosmology, that's true.
Okay.
The sphere of the living and the dead, there's interaction between the two.
So you are saying that at the earlier time in Igbo society, the demarcation we have today between the living and the dead was not there. There was interaction.
Yeah. And there are elders who had developed their spiritual capacity to the point that they can move from one sphere to the other.
Wow. That movement, can you be?
Oh, we did that one more in those days.
More.
And of course, there's also the realm between the pure spirits and the embodied spirits. There are pure spirits, and there are spiritual beings.
Yeah.
The ones that embody spirits like you and I, we have a spiritual essence.
Yes.
And we are cast in a body.
In Igbo philosophy, how do the Igbos deal with conduct in the society? How Igbos treat human life?
Yes. First and foremost, man is created. The theory of evolution is man were created as special types.
For the Igbos, man was created directly as man.
Yeah,
did not evolve from anything.
But then there is the common element of spirituality.
Okay.
It's also in all beings, in different forms and formats. Even in trees, even in animals, that's spirituality. What you may call dynamism. Let me use the common word.
Okay.
I think there's a difference between some physical, innate physicality, and active. The Igbos believe in that.
The Igbos believe that the world is dynamic.
Dynamic, yes.
And they have to be active to follow it.
They also believe that life does not end with physical death.
Okay.
There's continuity of life.
Okay. So how does it continue?
It continues in the spirit world.
Okay.
In another world, in terms of physical interaction, it's still within. In other words, our ancestors are also hovering around. And there are some other worlds. It's a matter of about spirituality existing both within our own environment and outside the environment. In other words, as spirit, you can exist, relate to the physical world, you can also relate to other worlds. What you call the spiritual realm is a form of existence which does not necessarily attach itself to a physical world.
What you're saying is that there is an existence, a realm of existence,
Sure.
And the Igbos recognize that realm.
The Igbos believe there's Alamado, there's Alamo. Alamado is the physical world. Alamo is the world of the spirits.
Okay, so the question is it away from the physical world?
It's a sphere of existence, if I use that word.
Okay.
The Igbos believe, for example, that wherever they are, the ancestors can easily relate to them.
Like now, we have the spiritual realm.
Yeah.
You have
One
one
matter,
matter.
no one more.
No, one more.
Yeah.
So, the one more, kedu ihe the Igbo na-ekwu na-guide the one more? Kedu ihe ha na-ekwu na-guide the one mmadụ?
Let's take the sphere of conduct,
Okay.
behavior. That what is good in this world is also what is good in the spirit world.
Stay with us. What comes next is crucial. Professor Nwala explains how Igbo philosophy positions human consciousness between the physical and the spiritual world. Now, how does Igbo philosophy guide an Igbo child through these two spheres, one more and one man?
In Igbo tradition, that's what is popularly called initiation. And at a certain period in the growth, say about when you are 15, 16, 18 or so, the youths of that age are initiated into the wisdom of the community, to the laws of the land.
Okay.
Every age grade passes through it. It's a moment when they are introduced to the spiritual dimensions of reality, to the fundamental moral principles of life, things that have to do with conduct, to do with knowledge.
Okay.
They also taught how to relate to the spirit world
Okay.
and the physical world. I know that in those days, when you get to that level,
Yeah.
there's a form of knowledge that you can get to the bush or some leaves you can get. After you rub them, do everything, you can do something, then you'll be hearing voices around the place.
Okay.
That's invocation of the spirit.
So the Igbos prepare people for it
For it.
at stages.
It's only in recent times you don't see much of this. All Igbo communities, when their youths get to a certain age,
Yes.
they initiate them to the law of the land.
Okay.
You can see what you and I cannot see. You know, they can perform certain metaphysical actions which you and I cannot perform.
Okay.
It was a common phenomenon in most parts of Igbo land, a initiation ceremony. They also train you hardihood, to toughen you. For example, like some of the foods, things they cook for them. Snake will be inside. Millipede will be inside. Snail will be inside. Meat will be inside. All kinds of things will be there cooked. And they drink them. That's the one that toughens them. Training hardihood is part of their mogu.
Okay. So why do they have to toughen the
That's to
person?
make you a real human being with high level of spiritual capacity.
Okay. So the Igbo society prepares its next generation
Sure.
by passing them through a spiritual furnace that makes them strong.
Yeah. No, so that they can really exist at a higher level of spiritual existence and capacity.
Okay.
They can move between the spirit world and the human world.
Wow. Key takeaways. From our conversations with Professor Nwala, we have the following key takeaways. 1. Igbo philosophy is an original system of thought that shapes the Igbo indigenous worldview through lived experiences, culture, and cosmology. 2. Ancient Igbo society understood medicine, psychology, metaphysics, and spirituality as one integrated system, not as separate disciplines in the manner of European thoughts. 3. The Igbo worldview recognizes interaction between Owamadu, the human world, and Owammo, the spirit world, with 3 individuals who are able to move between both worlds. 4. Igbo society preserved order, morality, and knowledge through initiation systems that prepared youths mentally, physically, and spiritually for the task of daily living. For us in Igbo Viva, the digital palace of the global Igbo spirit, we are committed to continuously bringing to you great insights into the outstanding wealth of Igbo civilization. Now, it's time to go to the comment section and give us your thoughts. Invite the over 70 million Igbos living all over the world to come and drink from this fountain of Igbo wisdom. Like, comment, share, and subscribe Come on, let us get to 100,000 views and 10,000 subscribers. See you in the next episode.